Can you feel the sunlight of a brand new day? Our hands held tight together, chase the gray skies away. Can you hear the music of our lullaby? The bloodshed and the tears have passed into the night.
Hello everybody, this is Snarist, and this is the finale to my Eternights Expert Mode walkthrough. This is part 16, Umbra boss fight. And I decided to slow down the footage for this entire boss fight because this boss only takes about 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes at most to beat with my strategies. So I'm going to slow down the footage a little bit just so I can give you a better idea and discuss what's going to happen. Now as soon as she disappears and that red circle flashes, you want to move to the left or the right and dodge, mostly to the right. And she'll attack again, but as long as you're to her side or behind her, she won't lock onto you and kill you. Now her next attack is going to be a disappear into charge, and as soon as she starts appearing again, you see that flash of her. Dodge to the right. And then what you have to do here, as her barrier has no sort of resistance, is you just have to keep using your elemental fist until you build up the ability to use the all-out attack to shatter her barrier. But that attack she just did then, that's by far her easiest move to avoid, because she just jumps up in the air and then you just dodge out of the way as she starts coming down. This one is also really easy. You just sort of wait for her to step forward and then swing downward. Now her next attack is very difficult to avoid. Dodge to the right. You can wait for the elemental fist, and you can wait for the attack to be launched and then use your elemental fist to avoid it. But otherwise, this here is really hard to dodge. So you gotta dodge either to the left or just dodge backwards and hope she doesn't hit you. Now this move here, don't stand in front of her where she's marked that area, but don't leave the barrier either, otherwise you'll get hit. And she's gonna do the attack she did at the very beginning, and that's her whole cycle and move set for the first phase. And so the next attack she's gonna do is when she disappears and goes into the forest. There, and you're avoiding. Something I'd recommend doing is using your elemental fist when you can, and after she does the move where she takes a step forward and gets ready like a baseball swing almost, and takes a swing at you, the move after this one, that's when I would recommend that you use the elemental fist, because that attack she does where she disappears and then reappears and does 2 slashes, that's so hard to avoid. So I'd recommend just using an elemental fist during that time. It is possible to dodge it, but it's really tough to pull off, and you can see right now she's kicking my ass because of it. But what I would recommend is getting her all-out attack ready with all 4 orbs of fill, but then wait, and then go through one more phase when you get her elemental fist charge right back up, so that as soon as you use your all-out attack, and her shield gets shattered, and she goes down on one knee and you can get a quick cheeky hit or 2 in there, then just use your elemental fist, and use that as a follow-up. That way you can get some extra damage on it before she goes into her other phase, because you're not really going to see much of her second phase because I just beat on her so hard. And with Min around to use stun wave, she goes down quite a bit, and Sia can set frost around the entire arena, most of it, so that way she slows down. So you're not really going to see much of her second phase. It's all about just bullying her and beating her down nice and early so you can skip these phases. If you want to see more about these phases, just kind of wait for when I put out my challenge run, and you'll see more intimately the kind of bullshit that Umbra gets up to, where I have to fight her without using sword skills, without abilities, and without any upgrades, just relying on my own dodges, my own combo, my simple combo and strike, and what it all ultimately leads to. And it's kind of funny to see. But yeah, I managed to get the hits in, got the strike combo, did a couple of stingers just to quickly get my death blow charged up, and I did just that. And so I just went ahead and used Sia's arrow range just to get a little bit more damage on there. And I was hoping that it would take my elemental gauge and fill it up, but it actually didn't. And I know that at this point, no matter what attack I do, because by the way, when Umbra loses her shield, any normal attack you try to do when she's not stunned or staggered, she'll just bounce her off. It'll bounce off and it'll do damage to you. But I use the stun wave here on Umbra, and it takes her down onto one knee, but it doesn't stun her all the way. But it's enough for me to get my death blow up, and I've got an elemental gauge charged up ready to go, and it's nice and easy. So that way you don't even have to fight any part of her second phase. because it's largely the same couple of moves for a couple of her fights, but then after that, when she creates that barrier around her, suddenly then she starts spewing out all this bullshit when she creates lines on the ground. They are pretty easily avoidable, so as long as you're not standing on it, you won't get hit by anything, not even by an area of effect attack. And a lot of her moves have big wind-ups. They do a lot of damage, yes, but at the same time, they're very easy to avoid and to dodge, and it's not a problem whatsoever. And with your build and with your ability to use your allies', well, abilities, it's not going to be a problem to defeat Umbra. When you got your build that you have, and you've been following what I've been doing, she's definitely by far one of the easier bosses to beat, strangely enough. But on my challenge run, she's one of the most challenging ones there is, besides Delia, of course. So yeah, that's my expert mode walkthrough for Eternights. Great game, and I think this difficulty is pretty fun. I would have hoped it was a little bit more challenging, or maybe there's another difficulty that's even more challenging than this one, where I didn't have to depend on going a no upgrade run to be able to make it more challenging than it was, and even then I think it kind of broke the game a little bit at times. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you in whatever project I do next. You all take care.